All right, friends, it's time to do some yoga. And today we're just going to move through a simple practice that just gets you to move your body. And you can come back to this practice again and again. We'll move our body in all the different ways just to feel good, just to make sure that we're moving and that we're staying a little bit active in our lives, even as life has become a lot more sedentary lately. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll meet you on hands and knees on the mat. All right, friends, we're getting started right away at hands and knees. So go ahead and come to hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees underneath hips. And we'll start with that very familiar movement of cat-cow. So on an inhale, start to lift your chest, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze. On an exhale, round your back. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Let your head drop down between your arms. And then again, inhale, lift your chest, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze. Start to go back and forth between each posture, moving with your breath and going at your own pace. If you decide at any point in time that you'd like to add in some organic movement, just any free movement that your body feels like taking, feel free to add that in. So maybe you move in and out of child's pose a few times. Or maybe you like to circle your rib cage, moving the rib cage in a circular motion. Or maybe you like to sway your hips, shifting your hips from side to side. Or maybe you just like to bring the whole body into some funky circles. Whatever kind of movement is going to feel good in your body before we really get into the brunt of our practice. And then we'll meet back at hands and knees. So wherever you are, go ahead and find your way back to hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees underneath hips. Let's bring the right foot forward between the hands and then just sort of create some space between the front foot and the back knee so that you're opening up through the hip flexor of that back leg. And then we're going to shift back and forth. So exhale, shift your hips back, fold your torso down towards the front leg, hamstring stretch. Inhale to come forward, lengthen through the spine, lift through the chest. Keep going. Exhale, shift the hips back, fold the torso down. Inhale, come forward. Back and forth with your breath, going at your own pace, starting to warm up through all the joints in the legs and the muscles in the legs. We're going to shift back one more time and pause and hold it here. Folding the torso down towards the leg, feeling that stretch, breathing through the sensation. And then we'll come forward, and from here we're going to get light on the fingertips, lengthen the spine. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Pausing here, lengthening through the spine and reaching back to create a curve through the spine. Be sure that you stay strong through the core, belly button hugging the spine to make sure you protect the low back. One more inhale. And then exhale the hands down. Let's take a twist. We're going to take the right hand to the right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist towards the knee. Pull the belly button towards the spine as you twist. And hold it here. Or if you like, reach the top fingertips up towards the ceiling to get expansive through the chest. A couple breaths. And then exhale the hand down. We'll come back to hands and knees. We're going to do the other side. I'm going to turn around on my mat so that I don't have to turn my back to you, but you can stay where you are. Bring your left foot forward. Create space between your right knee and your left foot, and we'll shift the hips back and forth. Exhale to shift your hips back, lengthening your front leg. Inhale to come forward, bending back into the knee. Now warming up on the other side. Let's continue. Go at your own pace. One more time, we're going to shift the hips back. This time we'll pause and hold it there. Couple breaths. Feel any sensation that's showing up for you in your body. Breathe into that sensation. Try to soften and relax without forcing. So we're not pressing ourselves back beyond our capacity, but we are allowing the breath to help us soften into whatever we're experiencing. Beautiful. We'll come forward, and then we're going to get light on the fingertips. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Press the arms back. Start to lengthen through the spine and curve the spine in the opposite direction. A little bit of a back bend here. And stay strong through the abdomen. Stay strong through the legs. The legs are our foundation. One more inhale. Exhale the hands down, really good. Now we're going to come into our twist. So the right hand comes to the inside of the left foot, left hand to the left knee. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist towards that left knee and stay here. Or if you'd like, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling to open up through the chest. Exhale, bring the hand down, and we'll come back to hands and knees. And I'm just going to flip around to face the other way so that I'm back towards the top of the mat. And now we're going to come into our downward facing dog. So hands come up forward a little bit, forward of the shoulders, towards the outer edges of the mat. Press down through the fingertips, curl the toes, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, press the chest towards the thighs. And then let's pause here for a couple breaths. Maybe we add some movement, bending one knee, bending the other, pedaling out the feet back and forth just a few times, stretching out through the backs of the legs a little bit more. And then to stillness. And then maybe we'll shift forward into a plank pose, get strong, and then exhale back to downward dog. And again, inhale forward into plank, exhale back to downward facing dog. One more time, inhale to plank. Let's pause and hold it here, super strong. Pressing into the hands, tall through the shoulders, belly button hugging the spine. And then stay here a couple more breaths, or exhale, lower down, chaturanga, pause at 90 degrees. Inhale, lift up, come into your upward facing dog. Thighs never touch the ground. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's take a couple breaths here now in stillness. Sometimes I like to sigh it out. Feels good. All right. Inhale, look forward. Travel your feet to the top of the mat. Find your way into your standing forward fold. Bend the knees. Let the upper body rest down towards the legs. The head hangs heavy. On your next inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, rise all the way up to standing arms. Reach up towards the ceiling. And then exhale the hands down to heart center. And then let's take a few rounds of sun breath, just like that. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees. Let the upper body rest down towards the legs. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, arms reach. Exhale the hands down to heart center. One more round like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale the hands down, heart center. Let's find our mountain pose. Arms come down alongside you. Stand tall and strong, feet pressing down into the mat beneath you, shoulder blades pulling down the back, belly button pulling in towards the spine. Find your breath. Let your breath be full and deep. Beautiful. From here, let's inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway and lengthen. Exhale, fold hands to the mat, step yourself back to a strong plank pose. Pause and hold it here, pressing into the hands, tall through the shoulders, belly button hugging the spine. And then stay here a couple more breaths, or exhale, lower down, chaturanga, pause at 90 degrees. Inhale, lift up, come into your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really good. From here, inhale the left leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the foot all the way through, and set up for warrior two. So the toes of the back foot point towards the long edge of the mat. Hips are open towards the long edge of the mat, arms reach in opposite directions. And then let's move with the breath. Inhale, reach the front fingertips up towards the ceiling and back towards the wall behind you. Exhale, find your way back to your warrior two. And again, inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, find your way to warrior two. One more time, this time reach, lengthen, and pause. Hold it here. Fingertips reaching up and back. Left side of the body, long. Breath full and deep. And then exhale, back to your warrior two. Awesome. From here, we're gonna lengthen the front leg. I'm gonna bring my back foot in a little bit more. We're gonna set up for a triangle pose, micro bending the knee to protect the knee. And then the left shoulder comes down towards the left leg, any amount. Try to keep the torso long so we're not rounding forward. We're staying long through the spine. Your left hand can lower down to the shin or rest the back of the palm on the inside of the calf muscle. Top hand can stay on the hip or reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling to get expansive. Couple breaths. And then exhale, warrior two. Beautiful. Let's cartwheel the hands down and step back to our downward facing dog. And then we're going to lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring the foot all the way through, plant it between the hands, and rise for your warrior two on the other side. Stay where you are. I'm just going to turn around so that my back is not to you. And then we'll do our reverse warrior with a little flow. Inhale, flip the palms, front fingertips reach up and back. Exhale, return to your warrior two. And again, inhale, reach. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhale, reach. This time we're pausing, we're holding, breathing. Stay strong with the breath. Let the breath flow all the way down that side of the body that feels long and tight. And then exhale, warrior two. Let's set up for that triangle pose so the front leg gets long. I'm going to shorten my stance. Micro bend in the front knee, hands to the hips to start. And then the right shoulder comes down towards the right leg. Any amount, keep the torso and the spine long. You can lower your hand down to your shin or the back of the palm on the inside of the calf. Top hand stays on the hip or reaches up towards the ceiling for a few breaths here in triangle pose. Your warrior two, cartwheel the hands, and step back to your downward facing dog. Really good. Couple breaths here. And then inhale forward, travel your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold, bend the knees. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale the hands down to heart center. I'm going to go back to the top of my mat. You can stay where you are. From here, we'll set up for warrior one. So I'm going to step my right foot back and let my left foot stay forward. Bend into the left knee. And the hips are facing towards the top of the mat. So this is a forward facing, closed hip, not an open hip posture. And then the arms reach up towards the ceiling for warrior one. Press the arms back, lengthening through the spine and dipping the spine back for a little back bend. Belly button stays strong, pulling in towards the spine to protect the low back. A couple breaths here. And then let's open up through the chest just a little more by cactusing the arms and squeezing the shoulder blades in towards one another. Really good. Soften that. Lengthen the front leg. We'll set up for pyramid pose. So the back leg steps forward just a little bit. Lengthen through the spine and then exhale, hinge forward. Coming down towards the front leg. Any amount, hands can come to the front thigh for some added support. Try to keep the spine long. Really good. From here, we're going to take it to a twist. So I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of my left leg, just above the knee, not on the knee because I want to protect my knee. And then my left hand is going to come to my sacrum. I'm going to inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist towards the wall behind me. Sorry for turning my back to you, but you can see my spine is nice and long here. As I open my chest up towards the left. Really good. And then go ahead and bend the knee just a little bit as you come out, and then find your way back up, warrior one. And step forward, mountain pose. And let's take a moment here in our mountain pose just to notice how the body feels. Maybe you feel a little bit more spacious, a little bit more energetic, a little more open on certain areas of the body. And we're going to do our warrior one on the other side. So the left foot stays back and the right foot stays forward this time. Bend the front knee, hips stay facing forward, arms reach up towards the ceiling, and a little bit back towards the wall behind you to help bend the back. Pull the belly button towards the spine, strong through the core. Breathe. And then open up through the chest just a little more by cactusing the arms. And then soften and release that. Lengthen the front leg. Step your back foot forward just a tad. And then come to your half pyramid pose. Keep the spine long. Hands rest on the thigh for a little bit of support. Micro bend in the front knee. Pull the belly button towards the spine as the crown of the head reaches forward. Find some sensation through the hamstring. And then we'll take it to that triangle pose, that revolved triangle twist. So we're going to take the hand to the outside of the calf or the thigh, above or below the knee, never on the knee. And then right hand comes to the sacrum, lengthen, and then exhale, twist towards the right this time, opening the chest up towards the right. Trying to stack the shoulders. If they don't get there, that's okay, but that's the goal. That's where we're moving towards. And as we increase in strength and flexibility, we'll get closer and closer to being able to stack the shoulders. Couple breaths. And then bend the knee as you come on out, keeping the spine long still. Rise up, warrior one. And then step forward, mountain pose. And now notice both sides of the body feel more balanced. Maybe you feel more spacious, a little bit longer, a little bit taller, a little bit looser. Really good. From here, let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold, take the hands to the mat and step back to your downward facing dog. So we're going to hold downward dog just for a few breaths, bringing some length to the spine. child's pose, so hips come back towards the heels, arms reach forward, and forehead rests down onto the mat. And then when you're ready, go ahead and find your way up to a comfortable seated position on the mat. And we will start to wind down our practice. So we moved our spine in all directions in this practice. We moved it laterally, we lifted and moved it back, we folded forward, and we twisted. So it's really important for the health of our spines, for the health of our whole bodies, to move the spine in all directions. So that's why this is such a good practice to come back to again and again, just if you're looking for some movement in your life. Let's go ahead and take a couple simple seated twists. So we're going to take the left hand to the left knee, right hand behind us as we twist towards the right side of the room, lifting through the chest, staying long through the spine as we twist. And then soften your way back to center, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you, stay lifted through the chest, long through the spine. And back to center. Awesome. We're going to take the legs out long in front. Actually, let's start with the knees bent, and let's just lift through the spine here, get long, stay with the feet flat on the mat, pull the belly button in. You can stay right here or add on a little bit of challenge to come into boat pose, letting the legs float up away from the mat. You can keep the hands holding onto the hamstrings for support, or reach the arms forward and let them float alongside you. And then from here, hands to the hamstrings, maybe you can lengthen the legs and lower them all the way down. Come to your seated position. We'll sit up nice and tall, lengthening through the legs and the spine. You can add a little micro bend into the knees if you'd like to help create some space for yourself as you begin to bring the torso down towards the legs. Any amount. Really trying to keep the spine long as you come forward, so we're not rounding just yet. We're trying to stay long and lengthened. Pause with that place where you can't come forward anymore. Inhale, lengthen again. And then exhale, round the back and let the torso really rest down towards the legs. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, lengthen the spine, come all the way back up, and let's find our way down onto our backs, lying flat on the mat. When you get there, give the knees a nice hug into the chest, give yourself a little squeeze, maybe a little rock from side to side to massage the low back down into the mat. And then we'll take the feet flat to the mat, space the feet out as wide as the mat, and shift the knees a few times from side to side. Nice and slow. And then we'll come back to center. Knees reaching towards the ceiling. Bring the feet back towards one another, and then the heels as close to the glutes as is comfortable. Arms down alongside you. Press your feet into the mat. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling any amount. Squeeze the glutes. Get active through the hamstrings. Keep the arms down alongside you, or walk the hands in, clasp the fingertips, and move the shoulder blades towards one another to get a little bit more lift. Couple breaths here. And then exhale, release, hips come back down, Pull the knees in towards the chest one more time. Give yourself a squeeze. And then when you're ready, find your way into a comfortable Shavasana. Arms down alongside you, legs long on the mat. And take a moment to get settled. Wiggle out any last little movements that you have left, and then settle into some stillness. Allow your body to be supported by the ground beneath you. Lean into that support. And notice if your body is able to release any last remaining bits of tension, gripping, holding, or whatever else it has. And as your body lets go, start to notice your breath. Allow your breath to be full and deep, filling the whole body. And as you breathe, start to get a sense that the inhale nourishes you, providing your body with everything it needs in this moment. And as you breathe, get a sense that your exhale is cleansing, allowing you to release everything that you don't need. And we rest here for a few moments in this awareness of breath, nourishing and cleansing the body. And then as you're ready, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your ankles and wrists. And gradually increase your movements in any way that might be helpful for you as you start to bring your body back to life. When you're ready, make your way up to a comfortable seated position on the mat. Let your eyes rest closed or fixed softly at a focal point. Take a moment to just be with the stillness, the peace, the calm that we created through Shavasana. Set the intention to hold on to that as you move through your day, your week, your life. And then gather hands at heart center for a moment of gratitude. Let's give thanks for every moment of joy, peace, beauty, and bliss that we have access to in this life. And I'll give thanks for each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me with this practice today. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Namaste.